Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name is Matt Gleed. I'm going to take you through a conditioning workout today using no equipment. However, I've got a mat nearby me just to make it a little bit more comfortable during our second round of exercises when we come down to the floor. We will be doing 3 rounds of exercises. Each one will have 3 exercises, and we will repeat these in a circuit style twice, which means that you can start to learn the exercises and then start to challenge yourself as we become a little bit more familiar. You get to challenge yourself with either a progression or a regression if you're getting tired as well, and you can make the workout your own. In terms of what we're going to be doing, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of recovery are going to get you to have a warm-up so your body is completely ready for the workout, and then at the end we'll take you for a cool down as well. In terms of space, we do need a little bit of space today. We are going to ask you to travel from side to side, and there is going to be a little bit of movement. I will give you options all the way through and do every single repetition with you as well. So let's begin getting you warmed up, and then we'll take you through the exercises, and you can push yourself to whatever level you feel comfortable with. To start with, open up your arms nice and wide. Arms will start to stretch through the shoulders and around the chest muscles, so you can start to feel a really nice reach around the body. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to put you into a little bit of a rotation. So the elbows are around about shoulder height, pivoting off your feet, just rotating around from side to side, to create a little bit of mobility for your ankles, your hips, and also for your upper spine, just to help prepare you for the workouts that we've got coming ahead. And now that we've created a little bit of mobility, let's start to add some strength into this as well. So just start to lower your hips down towards your heels. And as you start to do these squats, start to move a little bit deeper whenever you feel comfortable. Those joints will start to loosen up a little bit, and the muscles will start to prepare, ready for some more work coming up later on in the workouts. We're going to make sure that your whole body prepares itself gradually, so nothing too deep to begin with. But what we'll do now is we'll change the exercise into a backwards lunge. So a large step, back knee comes down towards the floor, step your feet together, and we're going to alternate these from one side to the other, just so that your body can get used to going into a deeper range of movement, and also starts to work on a little bit of balance. Now, I've got a few exercises that are going to be coming up in the first round, which are going to require you to change the position of your feet fairly quickly. So it's important that we can start to bring in just a little bit of speed. So when you start to feel a little bit of comfort, let's start to bring your speed of these backward lunges up a little bit. Okay, let's start to change this. Let's now start to get your heart rates up. So imagine you've got a skipping rope, and I just want you to jump the rope. Your feet are together, just pushing off the floor. Now, I've got some options where you can start to take some of your exercises into plyometric exercises, where you're going to start to jump. That will increase your heart rate and also ask a little bit more of your body, so it will improve your tone, strength, condition, as well as fitness as well. If at any time you don't feel comfortable with those, you really don't need to. I will give you options. Let's take this jump side to side. Starting to get your heart rates up a little bit more, but at the same time, starting to prepare the body for change of direction as well. We have got these in the first round a couple of times as well. Now, just start to switch your feet forwards and backwards. Now, this is one exercise that we're going to be doing in our very first exercise that we do in the main block. So swapping the feet over, and then what we'll do is we'll take you into a nice little combination where we change the movement a little bit as well. Okay, let's release this. Let's take you into a little punch. So a jab, a cross, a jab, jump and switch the feet over, jab, cross, jab. So we've got 3 straight punches. One is going to be a jab, cross, and then repeat the jab, and then switch feet again. Now, each time I start to throw these punches, what I want you to do is to pivot off your feet slightly as well. So we increase that mobility, but at the same time, start to integrate the whole body into these dynamic movements as well. So a nice quick arm movement, getting your heart rate moving, but at the same time, starting to bring a little bit of upper body conditioning into this as well. Our second exercise today is going to be working with some of the upper body muscles. So it's important that we start to get these ready for the workouts coming up as well. Excellent. Let's just take you into some jumping jacks. As the heart rate comes up a little bit more, your hands are coming out to the sides, and also this will help you with our change of direction as well. Now, we've got the first exercise starting in 15 seconds, so let's show you what you've got to do. First exercise we're going to do in this first round is going to be a scissor jump. So you're going to alternate the legs. We're going to do 6 of those. Then we're going to get down to the floor. Tummy and chest touch the floor, and then back up. 45 seconds, let's get working. So scissor those feet forwards. It's around about 6 times. Then down to the floor, back up again, and then scissor those legs again. So that's the movement that we're working on. Once you've done your 6 scissoring movements, jump yourself down to the floor. Don't worry if you don't count him out. You can just move down towards the floor whenever I do as well. I'm not too conscious on whether you're going to do 6, 7, or even if it's down to 5. We're just looking for you to move and to start to improve your condition and your fitness as we're doing these as well. So as long as you're alternating the legs, this will progressively build up to some of our more intense exercises in the 3rd round we're going to do today. So let's take our 15 seconds rest, and let me introduce you to our 2nd exercise. We're coming down to the floor. Now we've got the heart rates up. The heart rates will start to come back down a bit now. So hands underneath your shoulders, up into a strong plank position. Bring your hand in towards your shoulder, place it back onto the floor, and alternate it to the other hand. So you bring the hand in towards the shoulder, place it back onto the floor, and then swap the hand position. Now your whole goal here is to not to move too much. I want to keep your back muscles working so they keep you stable and in the same place the whole time. So try and keep your conditioning work up strong by almost holding this plank-like position. Now you've got just over 10 seconds of work to go. Can you start to feel how much you're pushing your foot into the floor whenever you take your hand off? So as I lift one hand, I feel that foot pushing into the floor to try and stabilize me. And that's great. Okay, let's bring you back up to a standing position. Now, I said to you, we're going to need a little bit of space. Here's the movement. It's a shuffle. And then what we're going to do is push off. Shuffle across. And I take a little squat and then push off. If you don't have much room, what you're going to do is you're going to stay in a low position and push off. So this is where you could start to be. And you can just see I'm starting to throw my arms backwards in order to progress and to challenge my movement up a little bit. Now, the option is to get yourself into a shuffle, squat, and then push off the floor as well. So if you've got a little bit of space, start to find that range of movement where you start to challenge the inner and outer thighs as you move across the floor. Just over 10 seconds to go. If you don't have this range of movement, then you know your option. I'll just show you again. Stay low and then push off. So you can pick the intensity each time. Great job. Okay, that's our 3 exercises that we're going to do for the first round. So what we're going to do now is do all 3 exercises again, and you pick the intensity you want to work on. Starting in 5 seconds, scissor jumps with the get downs on the floor. Let's get moving. So around about 6 movements, down towards the floor, back up, and then back into those scissor movements. And I'm driving my arms when in that scissor movement in order to help me get my heart rate back up again. So I just want to play with the heart rate, make it go high at the moment. Then we allow it to come back down when we do those Renegade Rows, and then it goes back up high when we do those shuffle and push-offs. This is a really nice way of improving your fitness, because then we can start to work different muscles in different ways, and overall it starts to challenge your whole body. 5 seconds to go. And relax there. 15 seconds recovery. Let's take it down to the floor for the Renegade Row. This is that press-up position. Hand comes in towards the shoulder. Place the hand back down on the floor and alternate it from side to side. We're going to start in 3, 2, up we go. Lift one hand, place it down on the floor, and it's a minimal shift from side to side. Remember what we talked about. Can you feel your foot pushing into the floor to help stabilize you? Maintaining control is really important. Can your eyes be looking down towards your hands? Can you squeeze your butt cheeks and your quads, the upper thighs, really tight to enable you to try and hold this position as well? Keep control. Keep that range of movement going. We're coming down to your last 5 seconds, just a few more. And relax there. Great job. Okay, so now your heart rate's come back down a little bit. Now it's time to push back up again. So remember the options. Stay low, push off, or a little bit of a longer shuffle, squat and then push off. The reason we add in a little bit of a deeper squat is because naturally your body will be slightly higher. So shuffle over, squat, push off high, then shuffle back over to the opposite side. And you're trying to get as much height as you can as you shuffle. Little squat first, then push your hips forwards as you explode off the floor. See if you can leave earth. Nice high jump. Obviously, the higher you jump, the more power you're going to be using, and that's going to challenge you. So you do as much work as you feel comfortable to do. You've got 15 seconds of work to come. You pick the intensity now. If you want to move quicker than me from side to side, that's great. If you want to push yourself to be a little bit higher, that's even better. It's just about you doing as much work as you can do. Okay, and relax there. So let's grab a mat if you've got one. If not, a towel or a jumper, make it a little bit more comfortable. And we're going to do an exercise called a mountain climber. So we're going to be down into a press-up position. And what we're going to do is bring your knees underneath your chest. So here's your press-up position. Start bringing your knees underneath your chest. And it's a slow walk. I don't need you to run. If you're climbing a mountain, it's got to be slow and steady. I'm trying to help you build that upper back strength and stability while maintaining some core conditioning here. It's not about going quickly and your bum coming up really high and you fatiguing yourself. Conditioning work is about control. So think about squeezing your quad and your thighs really tight and your butt cheeks. As you bring one leg in, the opposite leg has to work to help stabilize you. Okay, and relax there. Let's turn it over onto your backs. Now, the next exercise we're going to do is a V-sit. So this one is arms and legs extended. From here, breathe out as you reach up. Breathe in as you lower yourself back down as well. Let's get going. Off you go. Reach up, exhale, lower down, inhale. Reach up, exhale. Keep control of that breath. You're trying to reach your shoulder blades off the floor. And the arms reach up towards the ceiling. It's not about just reaching towards your toes. It's actually the height off the floor, which is the gold here. What we don't worry about too much is folding in half. It's much more about controlling as you lower yourself back down. That's what makes the exercise a little bit harder. You've got just 10 seconds left to go. As much work as you can do, keep control. And relax there. Okay, let's turn over onto your front again. The next exercise we're going to do is back into a plank position. Now this one, from our plank position, we reach towards your toes. Let's have a look. So from here, you reach towards your toes and then extend back into that plank position. And then we alternate from one side to the other. Now the goal here is to send your hips up so we get mobility in the lower back and hips, but also starting to work through the shoulder as you push through the hand in order to reach towards the toes. So I like this exercise as a really good mobility exercise, as well as stability around the joints, and really good for maintaining a strong plank position. And this will come in handy because if you haven't noticed, there's quite a few positions today where we're getting into almost this press-up position. So if you ever wanted to improve your ability to do good push-ups, then these are the sort of exercises that help you a lot. Okay, coming down to your last few seconds now. And relax there. Okay, so 15 seconds recovery. I recommend you just shake out your arms a little bit. The second round of exercise begins again. So mountain climber, V-sits, planks with the toe reaches. Let's get you ready for this one to begin with. Up in that position again. Bring your knees underneath the body. It's not a rush. It's about control here. I'm really happy for your heart rate to go back down, which means that it will give you the ability to push yourself really hard when we hit those third round of exercises, which are going to challenge you for a little bit more fitness work. So think of them as strength, core, and fitness. Three big pillars of working and improving your fitness here. So we keep maintaining this position. Eyes looking down towards your hands. Just over 10 seconds to go. Keep control. If you need to have a little rest at any time, you're more than welcome to. Make it your sort of a workout in terms of the ability that you've got. Let's lie yourself down onto the floor. V-sits coming up next. Extend your arms out. Extend the legs out. Remember to exhale, so breathe out as you reach up, fingertips towards the toes. Let's go. Reach up as you exhale, in as you inhale. Breathe in, exhale, breathe out, reaching up towards your toes, but the ceiling is the direction. Some of you might be outside. I know the weather's going to be lovely this week, so if you are outside with your sunglasses on, enjoying a little bit of sunshine, that's great. Keep reaching up towards the sky. Keep the control, just 10 seconds left to go. Now, if you're starting to fatigue, you can always bring knees to elbows. The less of your legs and your arms in terms of length that you use, the easier it is. But if you can keep it long, then you will become strong. Relax there. Okay, let's turn over onto your front and get you ready for those planks with the reaches. So again, press up position. And then from here, lift your hips up, work through the shoulder as you reach towards your toes. Let's get you set up. Here's what it looks like. And let's get going. 45 seconds of work. Good. Keep that range of movement going. Keep control. Maintain good posture. Each time you come back into that press-up position, make sure you're really trying to get into that position so you're strong. So if somebody was to say a press-up, then you could do one at any time. It's not a bad way of making the exercise harder as well. So if you do want to add in a little bit more upper body strength work, add in a press-up each movement as well. Got just over 5 seconds. I'm sure you can get a couple of those press-ups in. And relax there. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the mat, just create a little bit more space. Let's take you into the third round of exercises. And the focus on this round is pushing your fitness a little bit more. Let me show you the first exercise. It's called a Mogul. You're going to jump, rotating your feet from side to side. Then we're going to do a burpee. So let's get moving. 6 movements of a Mogul. And then down to the floor. So we jump out, jump in, and jump up. Back to that Mogul. 6 movements. And then down to the floor. And again, really not worried if you do 5 or 7 of those Moguls. Each time, just coming back into that Mogul movement. And then take yourself into those big jumps. Jumping out, jumping in, and jumping up. It's all about maintaining a rhythm and keeping your fitness being challenged by getting your heart rate up and keeping it working all the time. And relax there for me. Okay, next exercise is called a speed skater. So we're going to create a little bit of space. Now, this one, we're going to do 3 movements. So speed skater is push from one side to the other. Once you've done 3, we go down to the floor for a press up, then back up, and then 3 speed skaters again. 1, 2, 3. Down to the floor for a press up. So it's a bit like doing a burpee, but this time you can step up. You don't have to take yourself into that full burpee. But you pick the intensity you want to work with. If you want to move a little bit quicker, that's great. If you want to slow it all down and just do some squats instead of these speed skaters, that's fine as well. Jump from side to side and then down onto the floor for that press up. All the way to the floor, push yourself back up. And those press ups can be done on the knees as well. Just looking and resting there. Just looking about breaking up your rhythm of doing a movement. Okay, next exercise. We did one of these movements in the warm-up. It's a jumping jack. So jumping jack 6 times. And then what we're going to do is an arms up overhead. And we do an overhead squat, stand back up. So 6 jumping jacks. And then in the overhead squat, arms go high. And I'm keeping my feet fairly narrow, just because it's where my feet land at the end of those jumping jacks. So again, don't worry about counting the repetitions. It's more just about keeping you moving. Now at the moment, my jumping jacks, I'm keeping my arms low. But what you could do is start to take those arms up overhead. Makes it a bigger movement. It will make it a little bit harder as well. So you pick the intensity that you want to work with. Hands up overhead will make it a little harder. Hands out towards the side and bring them low. Makes it a little bit easier as well. So again, you get to pick the workout. Okay, rest that. It's our 45 seconds done. So Third round, it's fitness work. You now know the 3 movements. I'll keep reminding you. The first one is going to be the Mogul with the burpee, okay? So 6 jumps, burpee on the floor. Let's get moving. Okay, here we go. Jump out, jump in, jump up. 6 moguls. Arms go one way, feet go the other. Down towards the floor, jump out, jump in, and jump up. Just about breaking the rhythm and giving you a challenging movement in between. That's what's going to keep your heart rate high. Let's take it down to the floor. Jump out, jump in. Remember, you've got the options of just stepping out that burpee if you wanted to as well. Here's what it looks like. Step out, step in, stand up. Then the Mogul, hands a little lower, makes it less intense. Let's get going. Last bit. And relax there. Okay. 2 exercises to go. Next one, speed skaters. Little bit of space needed. Pushing dynamically from side to side 3 times. Then it's a press up. 3 speed skaters on a press up in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Push from side to side. Make it dynamic. Then down to the floor for your press up. Back up. Back into that dynamic movement side to side. If getting up and down is too much for you, just pick the speed skaters. I'm more than happy for you to change the exercises as long as you're getting the workout in. We just want to improve your condition by keeping you working for this full, it's around about a 26, 27-minute workout altogether. That's including the warm-up and the cool-down. So plenty of movement quality here. Hopefully learning a few exercises in a good, safe way. Relax there for me, which means that you could actually put some of these exercises into different workouts as well. So jumping jacks and overhead squats coming up. This will be our last exercise today. Then it's just the cool down, a little bit of yoga coming your way. Starting in 3, 2, jumping jacks, arms high. Then into your overhead squat or arms low. You pick the intensity you want to work with. Here is another option. It's called a half jack, where you step from one side to the other. Definitely an easier version, which makes it completely achievable for most people. Then arms go high for that squat again. So you pick the intensity you want to work with. Arms high, deep squat. Try and keep your chin and chest up when you go into that overhead squat. Just about keeping the arms high, chest high, but yet the hips go low. That's the challenge. And relax there. Great job, everybody. Let's take you through some cool down movements here. As the heart rate starts to come back down, let's just stretch through the chest. So just start to open up through the arms. Now bring your hands behind you, link them together, lift your chin and chest tall. Think about pulling your arms away from the lower back slightly. Now think about hugging a giant beach ball. Blow into the beach ball so it starts to inflate. Elbows move away, hands move away a little more. Starting to get a really big stretch through the upper back here. And then just loosen them out a little bit. Great job. Okay, I'm going to grab my mat again, just to make it a little bit more comfortable when we go down to the floor to do a couple of yoga movements here. So if you've got a mat, a towel, or a jumper on the floor, I'd encourage you to use this again. Just place it under your knees to begin with. Now I'm going to keep my toes tucked underneath. Just going to lower my hips down towards the floor. Let my eyes look up towards where the ceiling and the walls meet, or find yourself a little bit of sky. Now roll your shoulder blades back and down and just start to feel a stretch through the front of your hips. Now with the toes tucked under, push into your hands and lift your hips up high. Look towards your toes. Readjust your feet if you need to. And we're just going to walk your feet one heel down at a time. So just pedaling. Just to start to stretch out through the calves a little bit more. Now hold this position for me. Now this time we're going to come back into your upward dog, but without the knees touching the floor. I'm going to hold my body up high, just with my arms and my feet. I'm keeping my toes tucked under at this point. Eyes look up, roll the shoulder blades back again. Okay, now push into the hands, downward facing dog. Again, hold this position, but keeping the feet still this time. Think about the back heels going down towards the floor so you feel a stretch to the back of the legs. Now, lifting one foot up, swing that foot through so it comes up towards your hand. Reach the hand up high and push the back heel away. And really start to think about lengthening and strengthening through the body. Now from this position, bring the hand down inside the foot again, back to downward facing dog, over to the opposite side. So the opposite leg reaches up towards the foot. And if it doesn't quite get there, wiggle your foot forwards. Pick your foot up and move it if you need to. Try to separate through your hands, push the back heel away. And again, bring that hand down inside the foot, step back to downward facing dog. And this time, rest your knees onto the mat. Tucking the toes away this time, you're going to lower your hips down towards your heels. Now just think about creeping your fingertips forwards so they start to gain a stretch through the sides of your back, just underneath where your shoulders are. Now from here, we're going to come up to a standing position. So we're just going to transfer your weight through to the heels onto the floor and roll up through your spine, each vertebrae at a time. Head is the last piece to move. Just loosen up for the body. Let's take you into a bit of a balance movement. We're going to take you into a standing quadricep stretch. So taking one foot into the palm of your hand, you can hold on to something if you need to. Now push the foot into the palm of your hand and think about pushing your hips forwards as well. Slowly release that foot down, swap it over to the opposite side. Good, and then just slowly release that as well. Back down to the floor, shaking your body out. Thank you very much for joining me. We're going to be back in at 5 o'clock this evening, or we're going to be on at Thursday, 7:45 in the morning, 12 o'clock, or 5 o'clock in the evening as well. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.